remember the last time that I went to the toilet and had just a normal poo.
So I want to be the Melissa I used to be. I really do not think there's any cure at all.
Ladies and gentlemen, shall we raise our glasses to the...
For 8 valiant Brits suffering from embarrassing illnesses, there are only a few days to go in their quest for a cure. Will a fortnight of radical alternative health treatments here in southern Spain really be all they need to set them on the road to better health? Certainly for one of the group, this morning has started in the best possible way.
Well, just needed to tell you, I've had my first poo. Without the enema, without any help, just after breakfast I thought, what's that weird, not known feeling to me? Oh, I need the toilet, and went to the toilet, and it's the first one I've had.
It's hardly something to write home about for the average person, but for Amy, it's another major turning point in her illness.
So I'm happy.
At only 24, she's already had years of suffering from chronic irritable bowel syndrome, an embarrassing condition of bloating, constipation and flatulence.
Sorry.
From the outset, Amy responded quickly to the treatments on offer. In particular, the acupuncture and reflexology.
Amy is just doing fantastically well. I mean, it's so lovely to see, really, somebody reacting with the vigour that she is. I mean, she's gone through her ups and downs, she has emotions, but she absolutely is dealing with those emotions.
It's still random to keep, constantly talking about shit. But I did one, so it's great.
So Amy is up about her bowel movement, but she's not up for the hill climb to yoga today. In fact, only half of the 8 patients are.
Let's start with relaxation and some breathing.
Multi-skilled therapist Yair believes that yoga is the ideal way to unify body, mind and spirit. And certainly his protégés' bodies are more agile than they were.
Stretching forward and down. Keep a very strong upper arm. And exhale, buttocks up.
Today, it's cat pose arching into downward facing dog. And even the insect world seems interested. The human truancy rate in terms of yoga could be attributed to a lack of energy. Not an unexpected reaction after 7 days of ingesting only juice and broth. But energy isn't the only thing that's been dropping for our detox patients, as those with weight issues are noticing.
Yeah, I've done my belt up to the last notch, and that's it. Wow. I didn't get any looser, my trousers were a bit falling down.
What did it start on?
I was about that loop there, I reckon. So I've gone down 2 loops, you see, to tie up to make myself, 3 actually.
3?
Yeah.
Daniel's obesity is his main reason for coming to the spa. His reenactment hobby sees him fighting regular battles, but he wants to wage war on his weight and conquer his lack of confidence with women.
They judge me on the way I look, and then think I'm, some fat oaf or something like that. It's not good.
So when's the last time you had sex with that one?
I was worse than you. 6 years.
Wow.
Poor diet is the main contributing factor to the 20 stones Daniel weighs, but he also uses his size as something of a psychological defence against the world. Likewise the beard, which he boldly shed early on.
Oh my God! I swear you look 10 years younger.
And after less than 2 weeks, Daniel is certainly far more at ease with the opposite sex.
If I could stay in Spain, I would.
Daniel is not the only one whose health is visibly improving. The detox has done psoriasis sufferer Tracy good on many levels.
You're looking slim. God, it's like in the morning you just walk in, it's like you are disappearing, seriously.
Mother of 2 young sons, Tracy came to the spa with 80% of her body covered by the ugly scaly patches symptomatic of psoriasis.
Never ever sat with somebody that I don't know with a vest up on and a pair of shorts. It's really strange.
The physical detox programme, coupled with the sunshine, have benefited Tracy's skin enormously. But another key to her improvement has been learning to deal with buried emotions. Tracy's mother died over 12 months ago, but it's only at the spa that she's been given the time and opportunity to grieve properly.
If I could just be half a mum to my kids that she was to me, I've cracked it then.
I think she'd be pleased that you're here.
I hope so.
Now the results are clearly visible.
Do my legs look better?
Yeah.
Put that cream on last night,
fantastic.
You know that I've meant to be putting on since about the fortnight in.
Oh, Tracy. We work with this detox on results. It's not some airy-fairy concept, you know, you can detox, therefore you feel like you can then float. It's actually, let's look at how you feel before, let's look at how you feel after, let's look at how your body works before, let's look at how your body works after. It proves itself, you just need to try it. It never ceases to amaze the power of your own body to heal itself, given the right conditions.
Yoga over, the devotees join the truants for breakfast.
You look like her.
And now that solid food is back on the menu after the 7-day fast, meals are once again convivial occasions.
I can see myself sleeping today.
No, nothing but curry.
That's because you'd shit the bed, love.
Take 2 weeks in sunny Spain and add 8 Brits, and it might sound like the perfect recipe for a holiday. But mix in some radical alternative therapies and the not-so-tasty inspection of bowel movements, and all is not what it seems. But our 8 patients have been willing to try anything to rid themselves of the embarrassing illnesses conventional medicine has so far failed to cure. From head to toe, they've been pricked and prodded, with daily coffee enemas another tool in getting to the bottom of their health problems.
Every animal's different. My one's quite slippery.
It would be fair to say that many of the experiences here have been wonderful but weird. Will the same be said of this morning's lesson in Feng Shui, the ancient Chinese practice of achieving balance and harmony in your environment?
Where would you like us to sit to get the most cosmic effect?
You researching?
And I'm going to talk to you about Feng Shui. People pronounce that many different ways. Some say Feng Shui, some say Feng Shui, some say Feng Shui. Now, who knows anything about Feng Shui here?
What I know is the way you place your furniture around the house. I, for example, putting the toilet seat down.
It's amusing actually, because most people who don't know very much about Feng Shui, when I ask them, they all say, oh, it's all about furniture and placing furniture. Yes, but it's really to do about energy. That's mainly what we're talking about with Feng Shui, is we're talking about energy.
You will notice through the door is a big mountain which absorbs all the energy, so, well, we're from that direction, frankly, for a start off.
And the mirror's uncovered, don't forget.
Oh yeah, absolutely, yes, you can't have a mirror facing the bed because that absorbs the energy. So what we need actually, Charlotte, we need crystals.
Buy a rose quartz, and it's one that comes to you. Don't just go out there and say, oh, I want a rose quartz. Crystals have to come to you. You have to really find the crystal that you like, and then bring your crystal in. Tell your crystal what you want it to do. I want it to enhance my love life.
It's the biggest pile of bollocks I've ever heard, honestly. That's all I can say. I know. I kept wanting to dig you when you kept asking questions. I was like,
We're going to talk on Feng Shui. So as soon as I get home, I'm going to get a consultant to come into my house, because I want love, prosperity, happiness and fame, and most of all health. Without health you've got no wealth.
Yeah.
I've got a long hallway.
Yeah.
I know. One kitchen.
The woman's only got 2 hours, Melissa, you know that.
Okay, hold on. Let me think.
And this is your front door there?
Yeah.
Right, okay. Now, do you know where the sun comes up?
Yes.
Where does the sun come up?
The sun comes up from the
west.
The sun usually rises in the east.
Is it a different sun?
Hold on, wait a minute.
Where does your sun come up?
It comes up that way.
Usually does.
I feel like I've actually lived with Melissa for a while.
And would you like to carry this on when you get home?
To the house now.
Would you like to live with her when you get home, like?
No.
Take her home with you?
No.
Why?
Because I like a bit of quiet.
Well answered.
And while she might not have much time for feng shui, Jodie needs no convincing about the powers of a reflexology session with Ziza, which have been a hit with virtually everyone.
And during the detox, you also sweat or less?
For the first 4 days I sweat a lot here, but it's really, really calmed down now. I've had a couple of days I haven't sweat at all.
To date, Jodine has been something of a success story at the spa. She arrived unconvinced there was any hope of a cure for her excessive sweating.
It started off, originally it was just both my hands, just sweat constantly, even in the snow. I'd just do that and they'd drip.
Embarrassingly sweaty hands since the age of 5 compelled her to try surgical intervention.
I had 2 chemical lumbar sympathectomies to stop my hands sweating.
And it's helped?
My hands don't sweat at all now, just everywhere else.
When you were a teenager, something very exciting happened to you. The memory is very strong for you.
It could
the
be.
Fire came from you.
It could be from when I had the operations to stop my hands sweating. Because that gave me a new lease of life for a little while.
Do you have a hard time to express your emotions?
Sometimes I do.
Also your thoughts, when you want to tell something, you hesitate.
Just had reflexology there was easy. That is the most powerful thing I've ever felt, ever. Sorry, my feet are really starting to sweat now.
No problem. This is why you're here.
So just things to you that took me back to when I was 5, my first memory of sweating, and it was so clear in my head, it just felt like it was yesterday, and then as soon as I brought it head on, dealt with it, moved on, the sweat just went. I'm actually sat with a jumper on now because I'm cold. Really, really strange feeling. The people here are just so gifted, they just do things to you that you just didn't think were possible. That was all through just rubbing my feet. I feel like my chest's really open again. I can feel the energy building up again through my chest and up through my throat. And then like with the acupuncture, the end of my nose started tingling again. Apparently that's the energy trying to come out. I just feel so relaxed now, and I think I might sleep well tonight, that's for sure.
Jodine's close pal at the spa is psoriasis sufferer Tracy. Up till now, she's been resistant to reflexology, but after just one session, she's raving about the experience.
Is it the first time you've had reflexology done?
Yeah. I tried to put it off. Because I was a bit scared, but it just made me feel completely like a different person inside. When I came out of it, I felt like I've been feeling like a child without a mum.
Right.
I don't know if that makes sense.
Yeah,
feeling like
yeah,
a little orphan, feeling like a little girl. Yeah, and I don't feel like that now. I feel like a woman. I feel like I've grown up
Like
instantly.
you've not got something missing.
Yeah. I feel like, you know, okay, so it's happened, but that's it.
Yeah.
I just feel like a woman, I don't feel like a little girl anymore.
Oh, weird.
Yeah, it's really weird.
Tracy's skin and confidence may have improved remarkably, but the spa's other patient with a skin condition has had a quite different journey. Dan has chronic eczema, itchy, inflamed and painful skin that he's had since his Manchester childhood. Now living in London and running his own mobile phone navigation software business, his outbreaks became so severe he resorted to a strong combination of steroids and immunosuppressants to control them.
The things that they use, the tools that they use are strong drugs. And over time, they try and keep the dose as low as possible, which means that you're always on the edge of control or management of the condition, but also it has detrimental effects to your health.
His detox was going well until his UK prescription ran out. Now Dan has to decide if his old regime of drugs to manage his skin is preferable to the agony he now faces.
You know, they're meant to be bad for me and all that kind of stuff, but there's nothing physical that I can really see from that.
No, because it's much deeper. It's
Yeah.
inside. It's the fact that, you know, you have to go for checks on your kidneys every month.
Yeah.
You have to be careful of your blood pressure. So it's stuff that happens much deeper inside, which is much more concerning for somebody that's a naturopath, but it isn't got nearly so much of a hindrance in terms of your daily life as your skin does.
Yeah.
And that's a real challenge.
Mm-hmm.
When you have things like checks on kidneys every month, that is quite deep.
Mm.
And we have to get back to the cause in the first place.
Mm. I'm not convinced that's the best way, but almost that now that I'm trying this, I would, you know, try it fully, so that I'm, you know, just give it a kind of a best shot at the moment and then sort of make a decision.
By the pool, Trace is revealing the remarkable journey Ziza's reflexology skills took her on in terms of her recently deceased mother.
My mum was stood in front of me, and so like my lip was like that. So she'd, your mum's here, and she sort of said, yeah. So she'd tell your mum how you feel. So I wasn't crying, and I just said, I'm angry at you for leaving me. I said, and I'm angry because you didn't fight it, and I'm angry because you couldn't stay.
Yeah.
And like, you know, I love you and I miss you and all that stuff. And then she'd, did you ever say goodbye to your mum? So I said, no, never. So she said, how does your mum look? And like my mum was smiling at me and laughing and smiling all the time. And so I said, she looks happy. So she'd, do you not think that's why she went? Do you not think your mum chose to leave? She'd ask her. And so like, I asked her, and you know, my mum was just smiling and everything at me as if to say, you know, it's all right. Yeah. So then the next minute, I like opened my eyes, but while they were shut, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
And I was in this room. It was my mum's hospital room, and I was laying in my mum's hospital bed. And I looked to one side, and I was stood, and I looked to the other side, and it was my brother. And like I was stroking her face, and my brother was holding her arm, stroking her arm, and that's how we were when she died. And she said, how do you feel inside? So I said, I just feel so happy because there's so much love next to me, and I'm with the two people. I felt like I was with the two people that meant the most to me in the world. I felt like I was with my kids in a way. Yeah. And she said that was my mum putting the feeling through to me that basically she was happy when she died, and that was the best way for it to be. And that's why she went at that time, because she was so happy and she was so loved.
Well, that's well freaking, isn't it?
And she said, what do you want to just say to your mum? So I just said goodbye to her and that I love her. And then she went.
Her reflexology treatment was clearly extraordinary. And come lunchtime, now that solids have been reintroduced, it's apparent that Tracy, the self-confessed Mancunian kebab queen, is also now a convert to healthy food.
This is gorgeous.
It's very
gorgeous.
I'm feeling down.
A lot happier now I've had this. It's very nice.
As well as lovely food, Amanda has another treat lined up for the afternoon.
Well, this afternoon we are taking you to Granada, which is a little bit of a trip away, just for 3 or 4 hours, not too long, because we have to manage your detox still. So we're just going to trust you to do it without the management of nutritionists.
After the detox, when's the best time, if you wanted to start drinking alcohol again?
We have just one beer.
No.
He's like Wallace.
No.
8 Brits have spent nearly 2 weeks now in beautiful southern Spain, hoping alternative health treatments will rid them of their respective embarrassing illnesses. They've embraced all manner of therapies and forgone familiar foods, but it's largely been within the confines of the supportive spa environment, and this afternoon they're allowed to test their resolve in Granada.
At this stage in the week, going out on a day trip is a bit of a test, really. I mean, they've been in this environment, it's like a little cocoon, really, here at the spa. It's not real life. And what we want to do is introduce them very softly and gradually to that real world again, but in a very managed context. So we're only sending them off for half a day, and they can have a little play, and it's really a test of their own boundaries, see how they feel once they're in busy crowds, and the smell of coffee and the smell of cigarettes or the smell of a glass of wine, whatever it might be, and just to see how they get on, because let's face it, that's all going to be there when they go home. So yeah, it's going to be fun.
But only 7 of our 8 patients are on the outing.
I just decided that I was kind of sick of doing the usual Amy, pleasing everybody else and doing what other people want me to do, when my insides are telling me something different. So I just thought, I really don't feel like going today, and I don't feel like being around people. I just want the day to not think, just be in the sun, just chill out, read my book and have a bit of time to just completely relax.
To be honest, her saying, actually, no, I want to stay, I don't feel like going in a big group today, is a real turning point. Rather than just going along with what's expected of her, she said, no, I'm going to stay, I'm going to do my thing, I'm going to relax. So I'm happy about it.
The rest of the detox patients are happy to explore Granada, or they will be as soon as they can get their bearings.
But he said left at the Burger King, and that's Burger King, distinctly.
Yeah, so left it is then. Left it is then.
Yeah.
Listen to the woman, she's always right.
Should we go across to should we cross here?
Are we going that way?
Actually, so not down straight ahead?
Yeah, it must
I don't know
be.
where I am.
The detox was supposed to be about purging toxins, not brain cells. The other half of the group are also struggling with navigation issues. Have a cash machine.
Oh, there you go. Ah. So if I get €40, yeah. Incorrect PIN number.
Oh, you're joking.
How many attempts have I got? 3, and then they go Oh, that's a bollocks, isn't it? What am I going to do now?
Back at the spa, Aim is admitting the real reason she didn't want to do the group thing today.
There's been a block, a boundary, and all I can put it down to is my physical appearance. To be honest, that's all I can put it down to, which frustrates me, because I just think, look at the way I've been looking all day, all week, or 2 weeks. I don't wash my hair, I've not had any makeup on, I've just been the same as everybody else. But for some reason, there's been that block.
She's feeling a bit alienated from the group, a bit separate, and that's not new, that's happened before in the week. But the reality is that Amy did come here as a slightly different kind of person. She's lived her life in a different way from some of the others, and I think, you know, she almost is more in tune sometimes with some of the therapists than the group. And that's, to be honest, it's nothing for her to worry about, but it's been a little bit more difficult for her because she's not had that camaraderie.
I want to buy a big hat, but a big one with the white bubbles on the end, and a big donkey, and some bongos.
But camaraderie has definitely developed between Tracy and Jodine, who by now are close pals. And today, Tracy's come across another friend.
Lasagna. I love lasagna. I have like a nice lasagna and a bit of garlic bread on the side. You know what I mean?
Before she came to the spa, Tracy's diet was doing her psoriasis no favours.
Psoriasis is a skin condition. It is something that can be helped with sunlight, for example, but there are very deep links to nutritional deficiencies in particular. Diet and lifestyle are really crucial.
Food-wise would be the one that you would think might be sort of most tempted, but I feel that Tracy has got this kind of persona and enjoys life and is a great joker, but she's really determined underneath it, and I don't think anything will happen today.
And already her taste buds seem to have been reprogrammed.
This is gorgeous.
But in a city like this, the temptation of familiar, favourite but now forbidden foods is everywhere.
Look at that. Colon plaque. Nice plate, colon plaque.
Lovely.
crisps.
That's warm, isn't it?
That would be like just the ultimate insult, wouldn't it? Getting run over by a crisp van.
Yeah, it would.
Yeah.
That would not be.
Crisp will kill you.
I can sometimes eat up to 10 lollies a day, and I haven't had one in maybe a fortnight. And it hasn't bothered me until I've just seen that clip over there and think of all the added sugar and additives
blah, blah, blah.
That's an ice cream shop, guys. You know, I couldn't eat that either.
To avoid the edible, the focus moves firmly to shopping. While Melissa's compulsive nature is absorbed by the trinkets, Jodine's not so sure about the whole experience.
It's nice being out, but I'm just getting a bit too anxious. I think I should have just stayed in the car, to be honest.
For Jodine in particular, this expedition really is a test. She's not sweated excessively now for a number of days, but shopping has never been a favourite pastime because of her condition.
Shopping is an absolute no-go. I get too anxious and I feel like I'm getting everything's closing in on me.
But the shopping is still a laugh for some.
Wow.
I could shake them for you.
Yeah.
Damien, we come back to buy that.
Yeah, I'm coming back to buy that.
So Damien might get lucky if he buys that souvenir outfit for wife Charlotte. But even if he does, chances are this supermarket project manager and nursery assistant manager will not conceive the baby they've been wanting for 5 years.
I would just so much rather not do IVF, and I would much rather do it naturally and sort out whatever's wrong with me rather than just do it chemically. That I have to have the faith that something else is going to work.
And having been together for 11 years and married for 8, the questions about children are becoming embarrassingly frequent and excuses harder to make.
Time's not right, Damien's very busy at work, so we're just not going to bother just yet, and you just put it off and...
Well, you just lie.
You do, you just lie.
At the spa, Charlotte and Damien have taken on board plenty of advice about diet and undergone various treatments, but their goal is not one that can be reached in just 2 weeks of detox.
I mean, fertility, you have to take the long-term approach. You make a big change in the time they're here, lots of education, they go back, they do 3 months more therapy, then they start trying again. But the truth is, we've had more difficult cases than theirs, and we've got results very quickly.
€5 for each.
€5 for each.
And this one is cheap, €3.
You're right, it is cheap.
Melissa, well, what's it like on your head?
Do you think for my kids? We could do that. The Enema Queens, we could all have one on. Enema Queens.
I want one of those beach ones.
They've spent nearly a fortnight detoxifying their bowels on the path to health. So choosing the right place to snack in Granada is crucial.
Have you seen what this one's called?
This looks like the place there.
Yeah, it's fit. So
let's have a quick look at the menu just in case.
Yeah,
it's Spanish anyway.
Don't kill yourself.
Some pig's
weird on acorns.
That's going to be nutty pork, isn't it?
I can smell fish and chips.
Hamburger, egg, chips, sausage and bacon.
Can I just stand and get the aroma?
Colon style stuffed sweet peppers.
I could feel myself putting £10 on just by smelling it.
What else is there? Prawns in garlic olive oil.
You should be able to have that.
Yeah, you should be able to have that. If you were in that way. I mean, we can't, again, because it's seafood at this minute in time. Our systems would spit it out at the rate of knots, but, you know, normally.
Onion soup? That's got to be allowed. Sure.
And although they might have toyed with the idea of rebellion, ultimately the team do Amanda proud by choosing healthy options.
4 zumo de naranja. 4 zumo de naranja.
Well done.
Chin chin, everybody.
Cheers.
The stress of being back in the real world has already had Jodine feeling anxious, and now a certain aroma has seen Melissa's good intentions crash and burn. She's cadged a cigarette off a passing tourist.
You might as well smoke it all now. Yeah. You've done it now, you might as well just smoke it all.
Melissa's compulsive nature has had her addicted to junk food and cigarettes for many years. The detox has helped her get her desire for sugar under control and, rather impressively, ditch her 20-year smoking habit.
I just want to acknowledge Melissa for giving me the 3 packets of cigarettes. So. Go girl! And I would like to tell Melissa that you have the group support and the staff support. Okay?
Oh, I've done it, that's it.
Yeah.
Well done. Everyone's looking at me that I feel so guilty.
Are you enjoying it?
Would you have
it out? No, I wouldn't say. You never smoked again.
I feel sick. I can't believe I just done that. Look, I only had a few puffs, right?
And I'm disappointed, of course, that she actually had a cigarette. But we all know that Melissa has this tendency, this sort of attention-seeking tendency, and she herself admits that, and that's definitely part of what she's going through this week. So I'm pleased that it wasn't built up into some big, huge event.
It was like in reality, you know, all the donuts and just pastries and the kebabs everywhere. And so it was hard, but I resisted the food. I mean, that didn't bother me. But I just wanted that cigarette. But when I tasted it, it wasn't enjoyable. I didn't enjoy it at all.
All right, Melissa.
Having the support of fellow detox patients is an important aspect of the whole experience, as people no longer feel they're suffering alone. But it's something Amy's not benefited from so much, and Amanda has noticed her sense of isolation.
There was a couple of instances this week when I noticed that others were complaining about feeling self-conscious, or in a treatment, you know, about, you know, burying their body and things, and you then said, yeah, me too. But it was given a kind of a brick wall.
That has been pretty normal. I've had responses like that before.
Yeah.
And
what about with men? What's it like with men?
Well, it's the same kind of thing exactly. You know, you're very aware that they're looking at you in a certain manner. And obviously for me as well, just been judged straight away on the appearance. It's like tall, blonde, northern.
But it's something that really is part and parcel of your journey, is actually how you follow that through, because the truth is it does hurt you. You know, we've spoken about it, it does hurt you. And you have gone through a struggle with body image that you're not allowed to voice, really, because other people might perceive that, you know, you look great.
Like you say, it's as if, well, what are you moaning about? You know, why do you have the right to be upset? And what I'm going through as well is not visible a lot of the time. And even though, to me, the whole bloating thing, it's only been a few times where I've actually been able to show people and they've said, oh yeah, it is bloated actually, you know, where they can actually see it. So otherwise it's like, they think I'm just going day to day, having the odd cry and, you know, and that's it.
I think it's important to get to a stage when you challenge their assumptions by saying, okay, I look this way, or, you know, you don't even need to say that, that's just taken for granted. But why is your physicality allowed to be commented on and not anybody else's? You know, why can people say things about your body and whereas you can't say it back?
It's just nice to learn that I don't have to apologise for who I am. And in fact, more than that, I want to start being proud of who I am. Being able to just say, this is me. Yeah, I might look like that, but there's also a person, and I'm proud of that person, and I'm happy with that person. So, yeah, I feel really great, actually.
In Granada, despite all the temptations, their newfound knowledge about food and nutrition sees the group gravitate to the natural and organic.
Cool.
Well, you can get a right waff of it, can't you?
Each of the things is to do something for you. Like, so if you've got cholesterol, you can take some of this.
Kidney stones, allergies, circulations.
Melissa, though, is still in a huff with herself.
I took a few puffs and I had a hairbrush and then I put it out.
Wow.
I'm very disappointed in myself. I actually feel quite sick.
Apart from Melissa's relapse, it's been a largely successful outing so far. But then, Jodine too has a meltdown.
Oh, it's such a lovely day. I should have just stayed in the car, really should.
You'll be fine, you'll be fine.
This is why I don't do shopping at home, it's too traumatic.
Normally a situation like this would go from bad to worse for Geraldine, but the spa experience has given her the mental strength to work through it. Plus, she has the support of her fellow patients.
You're going to be alright, at least we're all together, you know what I mean? It might be better once we get somewhere it's a bit more shaded.
Yeah.
Because I'm hot and sweaty now.
It's alright. When I got out the car, I could feel a panic attack coming on. But I do feel in control now. And it is really warm. I'm not talking much, I'm just like, keep doing my little thing, trying to keep calm. It's good, yeah. I don't know how it'll be when we get back to the big group of people again. We'll have to see. I think I've done well because I don't do shopping.
I'm doing really well.
You're doing all the buying, aren't you?
Yeah, and smoking. My son's won Batman taking home. I haven't seen anything Batman yet.
I don't do Batman in Spain.
No, well, that's crap.
I'm not going to beat myself up over it. I'm not. You know, I took 4 puffs and that's it. Finished.
And in the end, it's Melissa who needs reassurance more than anyone.
Well, I'm the failure of the group.
No, you're not. Don't be daft.
That's how I feel.
No, you're not failure. We're silly. You know, it's up to you. Just because you've had a cigarette, you didn't even have a full cigarette. And at least you know now how bad it made you feel and how nasty it tasted. You know what I mean?
Finding 8 Brits in southern Spain is nothing unusual. What is unusual is finding them doing this: acupuncture, reflexology, body scrubbing, sinus irrigation, and of course everyone's favourite, the colon cleansing enema. All this to cure 8 patients of their embarrassing illnesses that conventional medicine has not yet managed to conquer. The essence of the spa experience has been about detoxification, purging the body of toxins and the mind of unhealthy emotions and attitudes. Before they return home, the group will receive a whole new food regime to follow. But new mindsets are also important, and sometimes hypnosis is a good tool in helping achieve this. A visiting teaching fellow at Oxford University, Ursula James is a world expert in clinical hypnotherapy, and this evening, Jodine is top of her list.
I think you've had hypnosis before, haven't you?
I have, yes.
How was that? Did you get anything out of it, or...?
I had it a few months ago. I got nothing out of it at all.
Okay.
For Jodine, the trip to Granada earlier today brought on an anxiety attack, which in turn had her sweating excessively after she'd hoped she might have been cured.
So excited thinking that I'd been cured. Thought it was too good to be true. Things like that just don't happen to me at all.
But it wasn't a complete surprise for spa director Amanda.
We expected that. We expected there to be a time when it would come back. But what we really want is for her to be able to identify and feel in her body why, where, when that happens. Because her tendency towards it will still exist. It's her control of it that will change because there's such a psychological link.
So you're going to go deeper and deeper relaxed, and know that the more deeply relaxed you go, the easier it will be to access the part of your mind, sometimes called the control room of your mind.
The way to look at it is within the brain there are different areas. On a conscious, logical level, that person already knows what's wrong, they already know how they want to be. In fact, hypnosis doesn't teach them anything they don't already know, but what it does is it puts it into the part of the brain that can then operate on it. In other words, unconsciously. I like to describe it as a full system reboot.
The key to all of this is in your hand. And those unconscious movements are becoming ever stronger, stronger and stronger. In fact, the fingers are beginning to lift. The key's in your hand now. Lighter, that's right. Lighter, lighter and lighter. That's right. There's only one thing you need to do now, is use that key. And as you do, the hand will come back down to rest. And the door starts to open. I want you to move into the control room of your mind and notice something there. So much of it is on automatic and works beautifully, wonderfully. Your hair growing, your nails growing, your breathing. So many things just working beautifully. But your attention is now drawn to a specific area, and you already know what this area is. It's where the controls are not set right. Go there and stand before the controls. Do what you need to do. That's right. Notice how you feel when you do it.
The reason I chose to treat her in the specific way that I did is one of the things about hyperhidrosis is that it can be considered to be a dissociative disorder, which means that there is a part of a person, well, not really a part of a person, but if you like, part of your system that is failing to operate in the way that it should do. And that then becomes an habitual response to certain situations, and she identified anxiety-inducing situations. So we worked on a couple of aspects of it, bringing it back under conscious control. And that's when she responded very strongly by the movement of her hand, even before I began to suggest that the key to all of this was in her hand. Her fingers already started to twitch. The movement started to occur. And she made a very real and distinct turning a key in a lock. And she was moving with the controls. All of those movements are unconscious. And the interesting thing about that is if you asked her about it, she may not be completely aware that she's done all of those things.
Waking up now. 4, 5, 6. Waking up. 7, 8. 9, 10. Fully, wide awake. Hello.
Hello.
How are you doing?
God.
Is there anything you want to talk about?
That was amazing. Absolutely amazing. God.
How do you feel?
Totally different. I can't explain it.
Don't try. You're going to remember the things that are important and relevant for you to remember. But until then, just hold it in there, okay? You're pretty good as a subject, you know that. I think we're done.
Thanks a lot. It's lovely meeting you.
And you.
Thank you.
Take care.
Thank you. My feet must have really, really been sweating during that hypnosis, but I didn't feel a thing at all. And that is really severe, that, because they're absolutely sopping wet. Unreal feeling. Just can't describe it at all. Really bizarre.
It's been an eventful day for our 8 detox patients, and dinner is a welcome sight. And although there's no meat in the mix yet, the vegetable curry gets the seal of approval.
It's very nice.
In some cases, quite literally.
Thank you.
Oh,